own, like you said, liquor company. Talk about that, 'cause I know you had challenges before that, right? So talk about that whole situation.
Yeah, you have the experience with major corporations like me. My particular experience with Beam Centauri, it was great in the beginning. It's great for us to work for them. It is not so cool when you start to own things. You see what I'm saying? So I made a lot of money with them too. Like, there's a point they did a deal that mirrored what Puffy's deal with Diageo was for Ciroc. So he didn't have ownership of that at any point, but he was getting a lot of money, like almost like $60 million a year at one point. So,
and well, basically what 50 is saying is that if you guys look at how Puff was always marketing Ciroc, Ciroc was a liquor company that used Puff to market their product, even though he wasn't the owner. But one of the reasons why it worked so well is because Puff gave off the perception that he was the boss of Ciroc. And I was fooled by it too. I'm not going to lie to you. He gave off the perception that he was fooled by Ciroc, but he was never the owner the entire time. Essentially, he was just a higher paid worker. That's basically what 50 is saying. So let me give you an example. Let's say if your favorite athlete, is repping Nike, right? They're repping Nike, they're endorsing Nike. Yeah, they're getting a bag from that, but by all means, they're not the owner of the company. Like recently, why do you think Odell Beckham, right, who used to play for the Giants, he's still in the league now, he used to rep Nike a lot, and recently he just won a settlement against Nike. So based off that example I just gave, it shows you that Odell is not the owner of Nike. He was just a higher paid employee or a person to represent their brand on a high level. That's all. So it's the same thing with Puff's situation. Puff never owned Ciroc. He has no equity in it. He gets paid a good salary. 50 to $60 million is a good amount of money to get, but by all means, you're not the owner. You're just a higher paid employee.
When you see him go to Daily On is when you see him have some issues. And they're not. It gets bad. And these people have really strong relationships. Don't think that the civil case doesn't turn into a criminal case faster because he's making them uncomfortable. That's a big part of it. You know what I mean? Like, you look.
And basically to sum what Fit just said. So recently what happened was Puff and Ciroc, they had a disagreement. Puff called them racist. He tried to sue him. They was, doing bad stuff. That's what Puff was trying to say. But the problem is that when you're dealing with companies like Ciroc, their bosses, they have very powerful connections. They know how to get things moving, and they could get things moving against your own detriment, right? So with these civil cases, the situation with Cassie and other people trying to sue, people thought Puff was in the clear because those are just civil cases. He'll just have to pay some money, nothing criminal. But any civil case can turn criminal, especially when you have the right people with the right amount of influence and money to make that happen. So to sum it all up, what Fifth is saying is he pissed off the wrong people. That's basically what he's saying. Because, when you pissed off Ciroc, Ciroc, how they're looking at it is that, hey, listen, we gave you a platform. We gave you all this money to endorse our brand, and now you're trying to sue us and call us racist, and now you're biting the hand that feeds you. That's how Ciroc is looking at it. And you guys got to understand, man, business is grimy as hell. So Ciroc is like, hey, listen, you're calling us racist. You saying this and that about us. Okay, no problem. We'll just take all your secrets. We'll send some of these secrets to some important people in law enforcement, and then we'll get a case going against you to make you look bad. That's basically what Fifth is saying, because when you're always calling somebody out and trying to expose them, you can make anybody look uncomfortable or make anybody feel uncomfortable. So that's how Ciroc is looking at it. So once again, business is grimy. Now, some of you guys will say, oh, well, come on, man. You shouldn't be going to jail or having to go to jail just because you went at it with a liquor company. And you could make that argument, but you gotta understand you're dealing with people in business who are very ruthless. And on top of that, if I was Puffy, he shouldn't have said nothing. He should have took the publicity that he was getting from Ciroc. He should have took that and made his own stuff a long time ago with the money that he was getting. Because what happened was Puff, he wanted like more money or more equity into the company. He wanted to be a boss because he thought in his mind he brought so much value to Ciroc, and he did. He did bring value to Ciroc. I'm not denying that, but at the same time, Ciroc doesn't have to make you a boss. You could ask, but it doesn't mean that you won't get denied. But Puff is so narcissistic, telling that guy no. Telling Puff no is like telling a fat guy no to a donut. Like, it's like he's not gonna react to it very well. All right, so he went on this rant. You're racist, yada yada. You ain't this. You're racist. You a D sucker. All that stuff. And I think it's coming to. Man, I tell you, man, karma is a serious thing. But let's continue the video.
When you go to the spirits businesses, it's not governed. They got a discus board that they created, right? If you got two companies that are $3 billion a year, and Beam Centauria and Diageo, the distribution level, it's very hard for you to get things to a point where you can do the right numbers, the amount. So it's kind of like they incentivize the sales force by giving them box bonuses. And then when you sell a product, you get the bonuses off the boxes that's there. But you make that no matter what product you're selling. So if you sell Hennessy or Remy out the gate, they start to put downward pressure on the new companies. You see, I had a lawsuit with Remy. They said that because I had an oval-shaped bottle that there was some sort of product confusion, and I'm like, where? It's a big B in the middle of the fucking bottle. Like you don't own the shape, the whole shape of the bottle, And then we had went in there for a little while until it came, I started saying shit like 1738. I bet they had slaves. Then shit got uncomfortable, and it was like, look, relax, okay?
It's 2024. Let me put you onto the best DTF transfers in the game.
Can we make donations to existing foundations to make you feel happy? Yeah. Yeah, and it went away. But they do spend $63 million targeting African-American male consumers a year.
And that's what and that's going back to what Fifth's point was earlier when he said it's good to work for them, but it's not good to do your own thing. Yeah, well, unfortunately, people like business owners, like any boss you have in any type of business, whether it's liquor, production, any profession, right? The bosses get attacked the most, right? Because they're trying to basically, let me give you an analogy, right? They see you as a threat. They see you as competition. Look at your life and look at all the people that was ever jealous of you or the people that flat out saw you as a threat. They will do anything they can to minimize your shine or minimize your money. So the people that 50 was going at in these lawsuits, they was like, oh, wait, this dude, this hip hop mogul is now starting a liquor company? They're gonna steal our dollars. Yo, we gotta throw some lawsuits his way to try to kill his company. That's basically what Fifth is saying. So, and they do target minorities who try to do their own thing. That's definitely believable. But it just shows you how grimy business can be, and it shows you how basically the whole world is the hood. I'm telling you, man. Anytime, like, let's say if you're in the hood and you got a gold chain on, gold chain, sneakers, whatever. People around the corner want to rob you because now they see you as a threat because you might take one of their bitches, or they just think that you're going to take more attention from them in the hood, or you're going to be more popular in school. So now they want to embarrass you. It's all the same shit. Like that's what I'm learning just by doing more research on business. A lot of things that companies do, they do the same thing in the hood. It's just not as violent. That's just what it's looking like more and more to me.
Remy, specific. So that's why that would be uncomfortable, me making those statements. And it's risk versus reward. It doesn't make sense to fight the fight. So they said, let's just let that go. But they ripped me off too, man. God damn it. They did. They ripped me off. Because one of the head guys is that has a sales for Beam Suntory. They set up a play and they were able to send a letterhead for Beam Suntory over to France and get the champagne company to commit to coming out and talking to them. And they have these things like it's where you put agency fees, like someone who contacted your grower or a person who's producing the cognac for you and made the deal for you. And they put agency fees on the product. To give you an example of the scheme that they put together, it's like, say you wanted to sell t-shirts and I go to China for you. And I tell the people in China, how much can you make the shirt for? And they tell me $4. And then I come back and I tell you, yo, they said $8. And then every time you send the check to the producer, they just put $4 on the side for them every time. So they ciphered off about $6 million from me in the very beginning. And then
damn, that's legal robbery. All right, so basically, if you guys who didn't understand that, what Fifth was saying is that the deal that they was offering him, the amount of money that he had to pay, a portion of that money was going to another person's pockets. It wasn't going to actually help him in the business investment that he made. So they were saying, hey, pay this amount, even though this amount that you're paying is not going to contribute to your business like that. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, nah, business grimy. But to sum it all up, guys, to sum up this video, because I'm at the end, I got to get out of here. Puff's karma is what got him in this situation, right? When you sit there and you talk, when you're talking crazy about the Ciroc boys who gave you a helping hand and making you more money and giving you more attention for yourself and for your career, you pissing them off is not the best idea, especially when they have powerful people. But I'm guessing in Puff's mind, he thought, listen, I know politicians too. Like, I got a lot of money. I'm not scared of them, so that was his arrogance coming into play. But what really hurt Puff is that not only did a lot of the people who own Ciroc, not only did they know people in law enforcement, they was able to get snitches against him. And that's why he's in jail right now. All right. So it's unfortunate. I'm not saying Ciroc they're a bunch of angels. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that karma is a very serious thing. All right. The same way Ciroc is trying to take advantage of Puff, Puff has been taking advantage of people like that in the music business forever. So that's just what it is. Not making no excuse for Ciroc, but Puff's karma has finally came. All right, I'm out. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what y'all think of the video. Let me know if y'all agree or disagree with me, and let me know what y'all think of what Fifth had to say. I'm out.